Hello everyone, it is Mairead O'Reilly here from Collins McNicholas Recruitment and HR Services Group. Today I will be going through interview questions and the STAR methodology. This video is brought to you in association with the County Sligo Leadership Partnership with the SICAP programme. So firstly, I will recap on the importance of interview preparation, talk you through what questions you should prepare, discuss the competency-based interview style, and also discuss the STAR technique as the best approach to answering interview questions. So just to remind you, preparation for the interview will help you relax, give you confidence to answer those tough questions, show the interviewer that you are motivated, well-researched and interested in the job, prove your skills and experience match the job spec, and lastly, overall, improve your chances of getting the job. So when you are invited to interview, it's really important to anticipate the interview questions in advance and be prepared to answer questions on you, your motivations, your personal attributes. For example, the interviewer may ask you, "Why should we hire you?" So here it's really important to emphasize your suitability in terms of maybe your personal characteristics. Potentially they align to the company values, for example. In terms of the company, it's important to think in advance, why do you want to work for the company? For example, if you were asked the question, what do you know about our company? It's really important to demonstrate that you have researched the ins and outs of the organisation, and here to demonstrate your overall motivation to work for this organisation. In terms of the role, think about, why do you want the role? So for example, you could be asked, what do you find most attractive about the role? Here it's important that you demonstrate that you've thought about the ins and outs of the position and how you can add value and maybe grow professionally within the role. In terms of your experience, think about your competence to succeed in the role. So for example, if you were asked, talk me through your relevant experience for this position. Here you need to detail to the interviewer which of your abilities, skills, knowledge and experience you can bring to the role and demonstrate your compatibility with your experience and the role that you're applying for. So most often than not, your interview will start with the interviewer asking you to tell them a little bit about yourself. So here the interviewer really wants to know how your experience is pertinent for the job that you're applying for. If this is prepared well, it can really set you up for a good interview and boost your confidence. Another way that this could be phrased is, talk me through your CV. Essentially, it is the same information that you will be providing. When answering the tell me about yourself question, you can draw on any of your relevant experience or achievements, your skills that are important for the role. For example, if attention to detail, strong communication, dealing with deadlines are important competencies, you should speak about your experience where you have demonstrated a strong competence in these areas. In terms of education and training, highlight any of the important qualifications that you have relevant to the role. This might be more important if you have less work experience and you can draw more heavily on your qualifications. It could also be a time to mention any of your future career ambitions or your desire for progression within the role. So today, competency-based interviewing is the most common interview format, as more organisations are now using example-based interview questions. In terms of what is a competency, so a competency is a future-orientated set of skills, knowledge, abilities and personal traits that lead to outstanding performance in a given area. So job descriptions will list certain tasks, functions, responsibilities for a role, and it is the competencies, so they are the abilities and skills needed in order to conduct those certain functions and tasks that are listed on the job description. To demonstrate a competency, You must give evidence or an example of yourself effectively using it in a role or previous experience. The STAR technique is a really well-structured manner of responding to behavioural or competency-based questions. This method will help you prepare clear and concise responses using specific past experiences. There are 4 steps to giving a well-structured answer: the situation, task, action, and result. The situation, you should provide background information on the given example. In terms of the task, you should describe the task that you were directly involved in. In terms of the action, what did you specifically do and how did you go about it? And lastly, the result or the outcome. So what was the overall result of your actions? Competency-based interview questions are designed to let you talk, they are open, and they invite a response where you talk to the employer about a particular situation you've dealt with in the past. Generally, the interviewer will start a competency-based question with "Can you tell me about a time when?" or "Describe a time when." Again, you will always be required to provide an example of something you've dealt with in the past. Your examples that you draw upon should be specific to demonstrate your ability and skill within each competency. In terms of the types of questions that you could be asked and their phrasing, I will now go down through some key examples of the most common competency-based interview questions. So, teamwork to start off, you could be asked to give an example of a time when you've been asked to work in a group to complete a project. So what was the overall outcome of the project? In terms of customer service, you could be asked, "Tell me about a time when you went above and beyond the call of duty for a customer. What did you do and how did they react?" In terms of problem solving, describe a significant problem that you have encountered recently. How did you approach this problem? Who was involved? And how did you go about resolving it? In terms of communication, you could be asked to give an example of a time that you've demonstrated that you have excellent communication skills. Planning and organisation, you could be asked to tell me about a project that you've worked on and how you completed it. And lastly, innovation. Tell me about an innovative solution that you came up with. What did it involve and did it work? So while these may be some of the most commonly asked competency-based interview questions, you need to assess which particular competencies are relevant to the role which you are applying for and prepare responses for those. So to sum up, it's really important to anticipate the questions in advance. Work on developing your "Tell me about yourself" story. You should also prepare answers on you, the role, the company, and most importantly, your experience. Also work on your competency-based interview questions, developing examples of teamwork, leadership, quality, problem solving, dealing with conflict, and communication skills, for example. And always remember to use the well-structured format of the STAR technique. So thank you everyone for listening to the online tutorial on interview questions and answering. Please do take note of my contact details on screen and do reach out if you need any support or advice on identifying interview questions or how best to prepare your responses. It's important to note that any additional support provided is fully funded by the County Sligo Leader Partnership with the SciCap programme. Thank you and the very best of luck with your interview.